On meeting some lovely women on this show, and I can't wait to meet my next guest in this, my final week of the AT show. She's given us immense pleasure for over 50 years with her music and effervescent personality. Please welcome Lulu. If it's 50 years, I want to see the picture in the attic. You've had a good time, though. You've enjoyed it.
I mean, you know, I was always the kind of young person who never looked back, who always ran forward, rushed, in fact, forward. But now I'm 66. I do look back sometimes and I think exactly what you just said. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah. It goes faster as you get older. And I talked to our psychologist, Linda Papadopoulos, about this, and that she said because...
She's gorgeous, that
she's
girl.
gorgeous and she's clever. And she said,
gorgeous.
well, when you're 10, a year is a 10th of your life. But when you're our age, it's a 66th of your life. And so it's shorter. It's how it feels.
It's crazy.
That was her explanation.
That's crazy.
But, you know, huge start. Like all stars, there've been slacker periods in your life as well, and they must have been quite
ups
difficult
and downs, and
difficult to get
from
through.
pillar to post, and oh yeah, everything. You know, life. You know, everybody has challenges. I'm old enough to know that that's the case. Doesn't matter what you do, but I have to say, I think it's maybe a human trait that we remember the good things more than we linger on the bad things. When the tough times, when you're reminded of them, you know, you can get a tear, or you can feel sad, you know, thoughtful. But mostly, I think it's a human thing, and I think it's a good thing.
So looking back at what you've done, high spots, things you really thought
beat
me up. Well, go on, as long as you want.
Shall I just go through things that come to my mind?
Commonwealth Games recently, for instance, I thought she must be glad to be there.
Yeah, let's just go there. I felt very touched to be asked. It was in Glasgow, of course, and it had, after the Olympics, you know, as a Scot, you think, oh, I hope the Scots are going to we're going to do it, you know, really beautifully and do it well. And it was so beautifully done. It was, you know, the thing was run like clockwork. And I think everybody in Glasgow, anyway, had tremendous pride, and there was a great air of happiness. So I was thrilled to be there. And, of course, I was there with Kylie, who is smaller than I am. She is, but she wears higher heels than I do now.
Not only a surprise, but a relief as well. There's something there smaller than you. When you look at the pop, it's always interesting to ask pop stars of yesteryear, who were huge and still, in your case, are, what they make of the kind of pop market today, because it's sort of instant fame and then gone, and there's no durability, it seems to me, in acts nowadays. You know, I suppose things like X Factor are perhaps to blame there. That's the way forward now. Everybody thinks you can go and you can do it instantly overnight.
Maybe that's probably, for me, that's the sad thing about a young person who gets a taste of success quickly, and then it's over in a second, and they're back to doing the job that they did before, or looking for a job. That's hard to take.
Is it that they can't handle it musically, or they can't handle it because it's been too sudden? They can't cope with it.
What you mean, the fact that they don't have longevity?
Yeah.
I think when you don't last, if you've had terrific expectations, and then you get a taste of it. I mean, shows like the X Factor have their gifts, you know, they give you a platform. I wouldn't blame them, it's not their fault, but, you know, it's just you get a taste of how fantastic, and it's all magical and all kind of sparkly, and then the next minute you're on your feet on the ground. That's why it's really important to have people around you who keep your feet on the ground. But that quick success and then flat in your face must be impossible. I feel bad for kids.
Yeah.
I feel bad for kids who have that.
Who were your heroes when you were singing in those early days?
When I started?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I come from Glasgow, and in Glasgow we love our R&B, we love our rock and roll, and because it's a port, we used to get all the records would come in from America. The sailors would bring them in, and then there were bases, you know, army bases on the outskirts of Glasgow. And so we got a lot of American music. Me, it was black American music. British music, I thought, was rubbish.
Really?
Rubbish. Didn't like anybody who was British. I only liked black R&B singers. I loved Ray Charles, and I loved rock and roll. I mean, for instance, today, You're talking about young people. Today, the kids that I love today are influenced by the people I was influenced by when I started, and in fact, the same people that influenced the Beatles and influenced the Rolling Stones. You go to see Bruno Mars today, it's like watching a Motown review. It is so fantastic because he dances, he sings, he's full of energy, and he is a great singer, and he's also a great guitarist, he's a great songwriter, a great drummer, and he writes the songs. I hate him, actually. I like him at all.
What you are doing next year is going out on tour again. So that takes pluck, as they say, to do that. Looking forward to it.
Well, you know, it's not that not so much, I don't know, maybe it's pluck. But, you know, I've always done it. This is what I love. I live to sing. I love music. And, you know, I'm doing an album at the same time. Actually, you know what it is? It's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Because if I was a kid and you said to me, say when I started 15, 16, 17 years old, when you're 66, you're going to be planning a tour, Lulu, and you're going to be doing an album, and you're going to be writing the songs on the album, I would have said, who are you kidding? I would have probably said, shut up, that's ridiculous.
How much has your single-mindedness career-wise affected relationships?
That's a good question, because I think if you are single-minded about work, and I certainly have been, you sacrifice.
Yeah.
You definitely sacrifice.
And do you feel you have sacrificed too much in that respect?
At this point in my life, I don't feel bad about anything like that.
Because at the moment you're on your own, yeah?
I'm single,
yeah,
and I love it. I love it. In fact, I really like I like my own company.
Yeah.
I even like solitude. I have to have solitude. But I think as far as you do sacrifice, but I still love to sing. I love to sing. I love music. I'm still doing it. My family say I was born, I came in singing, and I'll probably go out singing. I'm not ready yet. I'm not quite ready. But I don't think I've ever been happier in my life than I am at this moment.
Content, yeah.
I am very happy, content, because I'm doing what I love. I thank God, you know, I have a son who has 2 children. So any of the sacrifices about not having other children, which was a sadness for quite a long time, they're not really, you know, having a sort of fairy tale marriage that lasted forever, which was what I was kind of brought up to think.
There are compensations.
There are so many compensations right now.
Prince Harry was heard to say at the Olympic Games when the Queen, in inverted commas, was parachuting down, "Go, Granny." My thanks to the lovely Lulu. Go, Granny.
Go, Granny, I like that.
That's it for today. I've only 3 more days of you on the AT show, but we're going out in style with some of the biggest names in British entertainment. Tomorrow I'm looking forward to talking to Terry Wogan, June Whitfield. It's our very own Terry and June show. Join us tomorrow at 3. Won't be the same without you. Bye-bye for now.